Thank you all, and good afternoon. Welcome to Eagle Bank Arena. So great to see all of you. Like Dr. Washington said, it's a great day to be a Patriot. Really want to thank our friends from Eagle Bank. So thanks for being here. Really appreciate all the support. And it's so awesome to see so many members of our Mason family here in Fairfax and here with us today. And certainly everyone throughout Mason Nation that's watching. Not only here in Northern Virginia, in the DMV, but throughout the United States and around the globe. And as we have many family members of Mason Nation throughout this planet. And so we're excited to have you here with us. I really want to thank you, Dr. Washington, and the university administration. It's been wonderful to have you here and to have your support. We've had just some really awesome conversations that have gone from managing a university in a pandemic to the finer points of the pick and roll to how do you defend the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So we've just had many conversations, and it's just so wonderful to have such a supportive president like you are. And I want to thank our Board of Visitors, obviously, and all of their continued support. And I want to really, through this process, I want to take a moment and express my appreciation to our many members of our entire executive council, really, for your support and your leadership, and my, just thanks for all of your support, and particularly Carol Kissel and Trishana Bowden and Renee Stewart, Lester Arnold. You guys particularly were just really helpful through this process and all the back of the house kinds of things that had to happen for us to get this done. I really want to thank in particular Ken Walsh, our university chief of staff, our many hours of conversation. Ken was a part of our search committee here, and our many hours of deliberations and going back and forth and conversations. And so I really appreciate you so much. I want to also thank our athletic senior leadership team and members of our search committee for your support and all you did, particularly Nina Rogers and Christy Giddings, Robin Smith, Debbie Corbato, for all of your leadership and feedback and going back and forth, and for what you meant also to helping and the rest of our leadership team for keeping, while I was doing this process and you were joining me in many of those conversations and rooms, but making sure all at the same time that the trains were running and they were filled and they were running on time and student athletes were being taken care of. And I'm so appreciative of you for all you did during this last week or 2 weeks. And our athletic staff, many of whom are here, it's a different time where we're managing close to 22 sports right now. And so this becomes, another thing that we're doing. And so I appreciate you for all of, how you've just jumped in and just, without any complaint and just said, how do we make this happen? And above all, I really want to thank a very special person and a guy who has become a very good friend now and was a member of our search committee as well. And that's Brian Hill, who is our county executive appointed by the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors. Again, he was on our committee. We had many conversations and feedback and back and forth, and your insight was just invaluable in being a part of this. And it was fun to watch you and Kim going back and forth and talking about many of the finer points of basketball that Kim and I had already talked about. So your support, you're just a tremendous person and friend of this university. If you would all give Brian Hill a special appreciation, I would appreciate you. You just were great. It was so great to talk about those things. I want to thank our Patriot Club Board of Advisors, in particular our chairman, Paul Kyle, for all of your support. Paul, hours and hours of support and years and decades of not just giving financially here, but also giving, of your time and your heart. Kathy McKay, thank you so much for all your support and all you do for making all the things that we do, providing a top-level experience for our student athletes. It was fun, and if you haven't seen it, you need to check out the video Coach did last night with one of our student athletes, and it was on the Kathy McKay court. So thanks for making that happen and giving us one of the best practice facilities in the country. And so we really appreciate you. And our men's basketball alums, many of them who are here, we so much appreciate you, and you're so much a part of the fabric here of George Mason University. Most importantly, I want to thank our basketball student athletes for many things, but certainly for your hard work and your resiliency through this process and how you've kept your eye on your academics and continue to do the things that you need to do in the classroom during this time. And we so much appreciate this. And, as I look up, and what an exciting time it is to be a Patriot, to be a part of this, very, very, very outstanding, university, and where we've come in such a short period of time, the vision that we have, going forward, and it's part of that, and also why I'm so proud to be standing here to introduce, to you today, the 11th head coach in our men's basketball program history. As all of us, as we worked through this process and, had numerous and hours of conversations with industry insiders in the world of basketball, both collegiate and pro, I kept hearing the same things from a number of sitting Power 5 head coaches and a number of NBA front office executives about a guy named Kim English. I already knew Kim English. He was a young guy, rising star, and but what I kept hearing were all the same things by some really great people, including former coaches who were, Hall of Fame type of coaches, and it was just consistent across the board. And I think it was put best by the president of one particular NBA franchise when he said, "If you can hire Kim English, I'd pat myself on the back and call it a day." And as that became very crystallized in our brains, that we knew then it was time to set forth and try to make that a reality. What you'll find and what a lot of other people understand and see is that Kim's very authentic. He has an incredible work ethic, great energy, a terrific basketball mind. I mean, we had hours and hours and hours about talking about every possible game situation that you can imagine that exists out there, player development, the finer points of talent identification and program management and managing issues. I mean, we just had hours of great conversation, and he has just a terrific mind, and he has this great ability that I've already seen to connect with everyone he meets, and when you get the opportunity, to sit with him, you'll see exactly, firsthand why he garners so much respect from his players, his coaching peers, NBA executives, and everyone in his sphere of influence. One of the exciting parts of this process for me is always the opportunity to connect with coaching greats out there, and this was no different, and it's sort of the who's who of college basketball coaching. And one of those men is someone that, all of us are very familiar with, and that's Tennessee head coach Rick Barnes, who Kim had the pleasure of working for over the last 2 years. And I want to take a pause for a minute and just, recognize a couple of people who have been part of the fabric here for over half a century, over 50 years, Jay and Carolyn Marsh. If you guys would give Jay and Carolyn, a hand. And I'm thankful for both of them for many reasons, not, for their many years of dedication here, but also for keeping that relationship with Rick Barnes so strong. So, when that just became so very clear that, his continued affinity for our university and wanting to do what was in its best interest, really became clear. And Rick and Kim have some similarities. They're honest, they're loyal, they're hardworking. Basically obsessed with basketball. But the other thing is they were both 32 when they both got their first head coaching job here at George Mason University. And so, we all know how sincere and passionate Rick is, and I think he nailed it when he said that. And what I've seen so far and what others have communicated to me is that Kim is the total package. During his time at Tennessee, the Vols earned a top 5 seed in the NCAA tournament, and have multiple players who Kim recruited who are going to go on to be top 20 prospects in this year's NBA draft. Prior to Tennessee, as you know, Kim mentored some outstanding players at the University of Colorado, including 2 NBA talents. And head coach Tad Boyle recognized Kim as one of the best assistants he's had in his 25 years of coaching. Kim got his coaching start at Tulsa under Frank Haith, who he also played for at Missouri. One of the other things that really impresses me about Kim is that he, in all those deep conversations, about everything that can happen about, and I'm a kind of a junkie about this stuff too, from a player and coach perspective, is that he does not come across in any conversation as someone who wants to cut or does cut corners, and he's got a burning desire to be the best, and I mean that comes across. And I think DeWitt, as a Baltimore high school player, he wasn't, the most highly recruited in the country basketball player, but he worked hard and he grinded it out and he committed himself to the game of basketball, and he went to the University of Missouri and he became the best basketball player he could be, and he helped lead them to a Big 12 championship and 4 trips to the NCAA tournament. Even more impressively, he was a second-round draft pick and 44th overall selection by the Detroit Pistons in the 2012 NBA draft. Over the course of his career as a coach, he's made an indelible impact, on the lives of others. And you'll see that when you meet him, and you'll understand why what I've seen so far, and what I've heard from people who I really respect, and why that gives me so much excitement and so much confidence that he's the perfect guy to lead our program going forward. And so I am thrilled today to welcome here to the stage your coach and the leader of our program, Kim English.